This is designed specifically for network engineers who are curious about automation but have never touched the REST API before. This CCNA REST API comparison that everyone asks about, curl versus Python versus Ansible, and you can try it yourself in under 60 seconds. First, this one command creates our own practice REST API server. Here's our starting point: a simple API with multiple endpoints. First, let's use curl, the tool you already know. By the way, notice the response format. This is JSON, key value pairs in curly braces. Now watch Python do the exact same thing, but with more power. And finally, Ansible, structured, repeatable, enterprise-ready. What you just witnessed is the current situation surrounding API, different approaches to achieve the same result. But here's the question that will change how you think about network monitoring and management. What happens when you need to gather information not from one API, but from 100 network devices? Today, we're gonna explore these 4 approaches to API communication and discover why REST APIs are becoming the standard for network device management. First, the manual approach. You log into each device, navigate through menus, copy down information, repeat for every device. Reliable? Yes. Scalable? Absolutely not. For 100 devices, you're looking at hours of repetitive information gathering. Next, the CLI approach using tools you already know. Meet curl, the network engineer's gateway to APIs. One command, instant results. If you've used ping or traceroute, curl follows the same philosophy: direct, immediate, powerful. Then the code approach: Python, PowerShell, whatever language you prefer. Automated information gathering? Yes, but every engineer writes it differently. John's Python script won't match Sarah. Knowledge becomes trapped in individual implementations. Finally, the tool approach: Ansible, Terraform, purpose-built automation platforms, standardized, readable, version-controlled. Anyone on the team can understand and modify this. This is where enterprise network management is heading. Before we dive deep, let's set up our lab environment. If you are not familiar with Docker, no worries. We'll be covering the basics in a future video. I'm going to show you the single command that creates our entire testing environment. One command, that's it. This spins up a REST API server with 4 different endpoints that demonstrate various types of information retrieval. And here's our starting point: a simple about endpoint that tells us what this API does. Now, let's learn to query different types of information using 3 different approaches, each with its own strengths. Let's start with the tool you already know, curl. Think of it as ping for web services, static information about the API. Now, let's try a test endpoint. Perfect. Each endpoint serves a different purpose. This is the foundation of REST API design. Now let's see how Python retrieves the same information, plus explore dynamic data. Python gives us more control. We can process multiple endpoints in sequence and format the output. And finally, the same operations in Ansible. Perfect for standardized information gathering. Ansible can query multiple endpoints systematically and generate reports. This is enterprise-grade information gathering. 3 tools, same HTTP GET requests, different levels of automation and reporting. Now let's explore parameterized endpoints, URLs that change based on input. Same endpoint, different parameter, different response. This is how modern APIs work, dynamic and flexible. Python makes parameterized requests even more powerful. Now we're processing multiple parameters automatically. Perfect for bulk operations on network devices. And finally, Ansible's approach to parameterized requests. Ansible excels at structured, repeatable operations, perfect for checking status across multiple network devices with different host names or IDs. Let's step back and compare these 3 approaches we've explored. Curl, immediate, familiar to network engineers, perfect for testing and debugging APIs. Great for exploring what endpoints are available. Python, flexible, powerful, perfect for processing multiple endpoints and complex data manipulation. Ideal when you need to combine API data with other logic. Ansible, structured, self-documenting, standardized, enterprise-grade information gathering that your entire team can maintain and understand. But here's the crucial insight. They're all using the same foundation, HTTP GET requests to REST API endpoints. Master this foundation once, and you can work with any tool. Curl teaches you the protocol. Python gives you processing power. Ansible provides enterprise structure. Each has its place in your network engineer toolkit. Today, you've mastered the foundation of modern network management. You understand REST APIs. You've used curl, Python, and Ansible. And most importantly, you know when to use each approach for information gathering and device interaction. Next time, we're planning to apply these exact skills to real Arista APIs. Subscribe and hit the notification bell. Your network automation journey is accelerating.